I worked at a tech company for over 4 years, I'll call it Novacore. It wasn't a small startup, but not a massive corporation either. I started off as a junior assistant, but I climbed my way up into a project coordinator role. I was proud of my progress, and I genuinely liked the people I worked with, at least, I thought I did. Things started to get weird during a major project involving a government-linked client. Everyone was stressed out, the security protocols were stricter, and we were warned repeatedly not to share documents outside of secure systems. Understandable. We all signed NDAs and went through special briefings. About 3 months into the project, word spread that confidential documents had been leaked. At first, it seemed like a scare, just rumors. But then meetings started happening behind closed doors. HR was suddenly very active. They told us not to talk to the media or even share details with coworkers. I didn't think much of it. I'd done my part, I followed protocol, and frankly, I didn't have access to most of the really sensitive files anyway. Then, one random Monday, I got called into an all-team briefing. When I entered the room, almost the entire department was already there. People were whispering, looking around nervously. At the front were my manager, another senior team leader, and someone from HR. No one told me anything in advance. I assumed this was some emergency update, maybe they'd found the leak and wanted to tighten things up. But then, my manager stood up and said, loud and clear, "After careful investigation, we've identified the source of the data breach. It is with deep disappointment that we announce that I was responsible." I thought I misheard him. People turned to look at me. I laughed awkwardly. I thought it was a joke or some misunderstanding. But they weren't joking. HR stood up and said I had violated multiple confidentiality clauses, and that my access had already been revoked. They said I was terminated immediately and would be escorted out. No one gave me a chance to speak. No one asked me a question. They treated it like a public execution. I remember feeling like I was underwater. Everything went silent. I looked around the room, these were people I had eaten lunch with, laughed with, helped when their systems crashed, even stayed late to help meet deadlines. And not one of them said a word. I asked them what proof they had, and they said, "You'll receive the full report in your email. This isn't the time or place." They let me collect my things, already in a box, and a security guard walked me out. I cried the entire drive home. That night, I finally received the so-called report. It wasn't even detailed. Just some log data showing that a file was sent from my email account on a specific day at a specific time. The thing is, I wasn't even in the office that day. I had taken a personal day to attend a funeral. I emailed back and explained that the login must have been from a shared device, one that many of us had used during presentations or meetings. I even suggested checking the security logs for IP addresses. I didn't get a reply for 5 days. Then, on Friday evening, I got a cold, formal email from HR. Upon further investigation, it has been determined that another employee was responsible for the leak. We regret any inconvenience this may have caused. This concludes our communication on this matter. No apology. No explanation. No job offer. Nothing. I was erased. Just like that. I later found out through a friend who still worked there that the actual leak came from someone who had used my login on a communal laptop we kept in the meeting room. Apparently, the IT department knew this, but management wanted a quick scapegoat to look like they had taken action. I was the convenient option. To make things worse, a few people from the office removed me from LinkedIn, stopped replying to my messages, and some even spread whispers that maybe I had done something shady after all. My reputation took a huge hit. It's been months now, and I've found another job, better pay, better people. But that moment still haunts me. The way people stayed silent. The way no one defended me. The way I was fired publicly like I was a criminal. So here's my question. AITA for staying silent, packing my things, and walking out without fighting back? Or should I have made a scene, called them out, exposed them on social media, or lawyered up? Because part of me feels like being quiet made it easier for them to destroy me. And part of me feels like walking away with my dignity was the only thing I had left.